Do not lead us into temptation. Now, here's what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that God is placing sort of banana peels of sin in front of us so that, we're walking along and all of a sudden we slip and we've sinned and God is the one to blame. In fact, many of you know, right? James, what does James say about temptation? In James chapter 1, verse 3, it says, "Let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, but he himself tempts no one." God cannot be tempted with evil, and he himself tempts no one. So God never tempts people to sin. In fact, the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians 10:13, God is faithful, and he will not allow you to be tempted beyond your ability, but with the temptation will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it. So God doesn't tempt people. In fact, here's what Paul says. Paul says, when we are tempted, God provides us with the way of escape, with the exit, with the way out. God will never tempt you to sin, but here's what you have to understand. God has power over the sources of temptation in our lives. And so, brothers and sisters, we should pray, bring us not into temptation, meaning, God, don't let me be overcome. God, keep me from turning away from you. Do you pray like that? God, keep me from turning away from you. The psalmist often did. Psalm 119, verse 10, "With all my heart I have sought you. Do not let me wander from your commandments." As if the psalmist knows, as if the godly of Scripture know, my heart, as we're about to sing prior to the Lord's Supper in that hymn, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing," my heart is prone to wander. Lord, I feel it, prone to leave the God I love. God hears my heart. Oh, take and seal it. Seal it for thy courts above. Our posture, brothers and sisters, against temptation, against sin and Satan must be, God, deliver me, because I am not strong enough. I'm not strong enough, and I'm outnumbered. See, there are various sources of temptation that the Scriptures talk about, and this is why we have to say, God, deliver me from temptation. I'm outnumbered and I'm not strong enough.